Off the top at 7, protests outside the Supreme Court as justices tackle one of the most controversial cases of its term, a clash between religious freedom and LGBT rights. It's a case that pits a devout Christian baker against the same-sex couple who asked him to make their wedding cake.
The baker said no. CBS News correspondent Mola Lenghi is live in Washington tonight. So, Mola, what is this cake debate all about?
Well, you guys explained it. This started when this same-sex couple was in Colorado. They walked into this bakery and they asked the baker to design and bake a cake for them to celebrate their gay marriage. He said he couldn't do it. It's against his religious beliefs. He doesn't believe in gay marriage, and that he is an artist, is the way that he described it, and he taps into that creative process in order to bake these cakes. And he can't tap into it if it's doing something that's against his religion. That's the way that Jack Phillips, the baker, described it. So the couple says they were discriminated against because of their sexual orientation. How this translates into a court hearing and how it's made it all the way to the Supreme Court is the couple says their civil rights were violated by being denied services based on who they are and nothing else, whereas the business owner, Jack Phillips, the baker, says that he was merely expressing his free speech, his religious liberty, and he shouldn't be forced to violate those beliefs.
It is definitely an interesting, controversial case. So what was the reaction from both sides as they walked out of the Supreme Court today?
Well, as you guys said, they were greeted, both were greeted by hundreds of people who were outside the Supreme Court. Really, both sides came out to supporters and really dueling supporters as the two sides were sort of going at it peacefully, but going at it. But both sides came out of the courtroom saying that they were more than satisfied with how they represented their arguments and the arguments that they made.
Mola, we know that Justice Anthony Kennedy, is often a swing vote on the court, and that he had an interesting line of questioning today. What was that about?
Well, yeah, a lot of people who are watching this case closely say that the entire thing is really going to hinge on Justice Anthony Kennedy and his decision. He is the author of the 2015 gay rights marriage decision, as well as most of the major gay rights decisions over the years. But at the same time, he has forcefully defended free speech and expression in his 30 years. But today, as you asked, we heard him sort of wonder out loud at times that a ruling in favor of the baker, in favor of Jack Phillips, could sort of set a precedent, might pave the way for other businesses to deny services to people based on their sexual orientation. Kennedy said it could allow stores to post signs right in their windows, blatantly in their windows, saying that they do not bake cakes for gay weddings. So he was sort of afraid of that slippery slope. But later on in the argument, Kennedy said that Colorado's Human Rights Commission seemed neither tolerant nor respectful of Mr. Phillips' religious beliefs. So we heard Kennedy really wrestling with both sides of the arguments, with both sides of this case, and he was seemingly sympathetic to both of those arguments. And the line of questioning that he asked really reflected that, whereas the other justices, they sort of stayed in their conservative and liberal lanes that we expected them to do. But it will be interesting to see where Kennedy goes in terms of his opinion, but it will also very likely be critical to how the court rules.
All right, Mola Lenghi in Washington, D.C. for us tonight. Thank you very much.